everyone, it's Meg and welcome to another video. Today's video is going to be my summer book haul, and it's been a little while since I did a book haul. I think my last book haul was at the beginning of lockdown, so that was either end of March, beginning of April, something along those lines, I think, anyway, off the top of my head. And since then I have acquired 18 books, which is quite a lot, but I must admit quite a lot of these are presents that have been gifted to me for my birthday or just by some of my wonderful friends. And I've got some pre-orders, and I've got some books that I ordered for the reading rush. I've got some from subscription boxes. So obviously it is time to do a book haul because I'm going to have so much fun trying to do a thumbnail carrying all these books. Like, it is going to be such a fun time. Not. I have actually done a video about all the physical books on my TBR, which I filmed fairly recently, and they do talk about quite a lot of the books on this list, so I'm not going to spend too much time talking about them. But I have got some new books since then, and I just thought I would show you them all in a book haul so they're all together. But yeah, so without further ado, let's get into the video. So I'm going to start off with the books that were gifted to me by my wonderful friends for my birthday. So the first two books that I have were gifted to me by my friend M from A Little Writer M, and those books were Queenie by Candice Carty-Williams and The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have read Taylor Jenkins Reid before and I absolutely loved it. I listened to the audiobook is fantastic, and I really wanted to get myself a physical copy so then when I eventually reread it, I have a physical copy and I can like tab it and annotate it and put all my favourite quotes in. So I'm really glad that Em got me a physical copy of this. And then Queenie is a book that has been on my radar for ages. Sorry, my dad is playing his flute, so you can probably hear it, but hopefully you won't mind a little bit of background music. But Queenie is a book I have been aware of for ages. It has won the Women's Prize Fiction Award. Actually, it's been longlisted for that. But I've seen it in Waterstones everywhere, and only fairly recently I actually read what it was about, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. I think this is a book I'm going to take with me when I go on holiday next month, and I'm very much looking forward to it. So thank you, Em, once again for sending me these wonderful books. I appreciate you so much, and I cannot wait to reread Evelyn Hugo and finally get to read Queenie. And then the final three books that were gifted to me were sent by my wonderful friend Kyra from Kyra Foster, and she sent me 3 books. Like, you did not have to do that, Kyra, but I absolutely adore all these books. And the first one that she got me is Read with Pride by Lucy Powery, which is the second book in the Paper and Heart Society. And myself and Kyra have both read the first book in this series, which is Paper and Heart Society, last year, and we both really enjoyed it, and I'm very much looking forward to continuing with the series. I know that this follows a different character of this friendship group. It follows Olivia, and I feel like it's going to be a really wonderful book, and I am really looking forward to reading it. I think it's just going to be fun, cute, and with a lovely message as well. The next book that she got me is the Heartstopper colouring book by Alice Oseman, and I very nearly bought this for myself not so long ago, but I'm so glad that I didn't. And I love Heartstopper, just in case you didn't know. It's my favourite graphic novel series, and I love colouring. I go on and off it, but I'm really into it at the moment, and it's got some lovely illustrations of Nick and Charlie. It's got some new ones in and some ones from the graphic novel series, and I need to get myself some decent pencils so then I can colour this because my pencil options are limited. So I'm very much looking forward to colouring this in. I think it's going to be so much fun. And then the last book that Kyra got me was one I was not expecting, but I'm honestly so happy and so grateful that she got me, and that is the Leon Farce Vegan Cookbook. And if you don't know, I do love cooking. I love baking as well, mainly slightly more than cooking, but I love vegan cooking especially, and I have had my eye on this book for ages because my God family have this book, and when we went to theirs last year over the summer they did some recipes from this. I absolutely loved it, and I'm so happy I've got this. I have made a few things from this already, and I have colour coordinated the tabs. I fully tabbed it up with some recipes that I love, but I'm so looking forward to just delving into this and using more of the recipes. They just seem so yummy and delicious. And Kyra and I are both passionate about cooking and baking in general, especially vegan food as well. So thank you so much, Kyra, for sending me these wonderful books. Again, I appreciate you so much, and I will make sure to leave Kyra and Em's channels in the description if you want to go and check them out, because they are wonderful people, and you should definitely go and check them out because they are just wonderful. And then the last two books that I have been gifted are by my friend Molly from Minded Molly, and these weren't for my birthday. Molly just sent them to me because she's a wonderful human being, and she sent me two books that I'm so ridiculously excited to read, and books that I really wanted to read this year. So the first one is Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Azevedo and Mine by Emily Merrill. Clap When You Land was one of my most anticipated releases for the year, even though the synopsis doesn't grab me like the rest of Elizabeth Azevedo's books, as Elizabeth is one of my favourite authors of all time, but this is a book written in verse and also it's by one of my favourite authors, so I really wanted to pick it up, and I have actually started reading it. I am nearly halfway through. I'm on page 154, but I put it down just for the moment because I am doing a reading vlog for another book, and I must admit I'm not liking this that much so far. Like, I'm enjoying it more than I did when I first read it, started it even, but I'm not too sure at the moment, which I'm really sad about so far, but I hope that it will kind of turn around and I will end up really loving it. And then Mine, just in case you hadn't realised, is by Emily Merrill, who is my friend Em, who very kindly sent me some books earlier. And I have been such a bad friend and not read Em's book yet. It's a book I've been thinking non-stop about recently, and I'm like, yes, next time I get a book I'm going to have to get Em's book. And I finally have it. Molly is a gem and sent it to me, and I'm so looking forward to reading Em's book. I've heard nothing but good things about it. The cover is just stunning, and I think I'm going to save this for my autumn TBR because I don't know why, it just feels like an autumn book. It just gives me the vibes, like just on the cover. Thank you so much, Molly, for sending me these books. I appreciate you again just so much. I appreciate anybody who ever sends me books, and again I will leave Molly's channel in the description if you want to go and check her out, because she is just a wonderful human being that you should go and support. Next up we have some graphic novels, and the first one I got is The Prince and the Dressmaker by Jen Wang. I read this book on Scribd for the first time last year for the Gilmore Girls Readathon, and I absolutely adored it, and I've been looking for an excuse ever since to buy the physical copy because I absolutely adore the art style in this and I adore the story. So all of these graphic novels I actually bought for the reading rush, and it was an excuse, so I bought it and I really wanted to reread it. Very much enjoyed it, and I think it's just such a lovely story, and I just love the art style in it as well, and the characters are charming, and it was just absolutely wonderful to get to reread it again. Next up we have Bloom by Kevin Panetta, and this is another graphic novel I've had my eye on for ages, and I didn't know much about it apart from the fact that it is about a main character named Ari and his family run a struggling bakery, and it is a book I really enjoyed. I was a little bit disappointed by it. I feel like the story's a little bit weak. Any books that I have read that I'm talking about now, I will have talked about in a recent reads video, so I'll leave the link to the playlist for my recent reads videos if you guys want to hear my further thoughts on any of the books that I've read. But I really enjoyed this. I love the art style. Again, it's like in a blue and white theme, and the characters were cute, but yeah, the story was a little bit weak, but I love the baking aspect of it. That was really cool, and I'm finally glad that I got to read it. And then the last graphic novel I have is The Tea Drinking Society by Katie O'Neill, and this is a book that I have been wanting for the longest time. I've wanted it for ages, like probably not long after I started BookTube, because I've heard so many good things about it, and I absolutely adored this. It is so cute and wholesome, and I want a tea dragon now. Like, somebody can get me a tea dragon, like I would love that so much. But I really adored this. I love the art style. Again, it is stunning, and it has little bios in the back as well for the tea dragons, and kind of care notes, like how you care for these tea dragons and what tea you can brew from them. And it's absolutely adorable, so I'll definitely be getting the other two books in this series because I absolutely adored this one so much, so obviously now I need to read the rest of them. Next up we have a poetry collection, and that is Submerged by K.Y. Robinson. This is another book I got for the reading rush, and I really ended up enjoying this. I have talked about this in my most recent reads video, so you can go and check that out in the description if you want to hear my thoughts on it. But I love this collection, or I didn't say I love it, I really enjoyed it. The whole concept of this book is around the theme of water, which is something that I include a lot in my writing. It is a very common theme, and water is just something that I'm fascinated by, and I'm also a Cancer, my star sign is a Cancer, so water is like my element sign. But I really enjoyed this book. I preferred more bits of it than others, but again, you can go and check out my recent reads video if you want to hear further thoughts on it. Next up is just a random book, and that is On Chisel Beach by Ian McEwan, I think that's how you say his name. And this was at my work because we have a little book thing outside, and I only want to read this book for the pure factor that it is set on Chisel Beach, which is on Portland in Weymouth, Dorset, because my grandparents lived on Portland and I spent the majority of my childhood running across Portland Beach and around the island, and it's a place that I really miss a lot. So I just want to read it purely for the fact that it's set on Portland, or not all, probably not always set on Portland, but it's got Chisel Beach in the name and Chisel Beach is in this book. So that's the only reason why I want to read it, and then I can watch the film afterwards. This is actually about a newlywed couple, but that's all I know. I don't feel like Weymouth has much to do with the book, and I just want to read it for the fact that it's about Weymouth, Chisel Beach and Dorset, so we'll give this a go at some point and see what I think. Next up we have some pre-orders that I did, and the first one is a Sky Painted Gold by Laura Wood, and this is the new hardback because this book got released in America last month in July, I think. It was like for July or June, I think, one or the other. And in case you are new on this book channel, hi, my name is Meg and I am obsessed with Laura Wood's books, and you can ask any of my booktube friends because I have been forcing them to read all of her books, and luckily they have been enjoying them so far. But when I heard that Laura's book was being released in America, I was so happy because this is such a wonderful story, one of my favourite books of all time, and I did recently do a reread of this book and I loved it just as much as I did the first time I read it. And this is just gorgeous. I must admit I do kind of prefer the paperback, because the paperback is like, it's more shimmery than this. This is more like luster. This is like full on like gold foiling. But I just had to get a hard copy of this book, and if Laura's other books come out in hardback in the future, you can bet your ass that I'm going to get them. And yes, I just really happy to have this book added to my collection, and I will just do anything to support Laura. Her books are stunning and I will always read whatever she writes. And the second two pre-orders that I have are both by Alice Oseman, and the first one is the Nick and Charlie novella, and I read this fairly recently and I did read it in a vlog, and the vlog should be up before this video, so you can go and check that out if you want to read this book. I will try and remember to leave a link in the description. But this is really cute. This is a novella that takes place 2 years after the third volume of Heartstopper, where Nick is going off to university, and it's kind of about his relationship with Charlie, and kind of are they going to stay together, kind of figuring things out, because obviously Nick is moving halfway across the country, and it's just kind of about that next level in their relationship. And it was really cute, I did enjoy it, and there's some really cute, they have some like graphic novel strips and illustrations in it, and it's really cute, definitely enjoyed it. And this is also a signed copy, as well as the next book that I have of hers, which is Loveless, and this was one of my most anticipated releases of the year. I pre-ordered this like back in October or November when the pre-orders were first released, and again it is a signed edition, and this is my current read. I'm doing a specific vlog for this book, so make sure you go and check that out once it is up. It'll probably be up end of August, hopefully end of August, beginning of September, something along those lines. And I'm also reading this with Kyra, and I'm very much enjoying it so far, and I cannot wait to share with you guys the vlog once it is up. The next two books that I have are both from subscription boxes, and the first one that I have is Splinters of Scarlet by Emily Bain Murphy, and I got this in the July Book Box Club box, and I adored that box. I did a unboxing video for it, so you can go and check that out in the description. I will leave a link. Go and watch it. It is one of my favourite boxes I've got from them yet, and I'm really intrigued by this book. It's kind of like a magical historical fiction, and I think it's set in Copenhagen, and it's about this magical seamstress who goes to work in this castle with all these other magical servants, and I think there's kind of like a murder mystery kind of thing, which is something I'm not into, but there is like a mystery aspect into it, and I'm very much looking forward to giving it a go. And this cover is stunning, and I am definitely going to be reading this at some point in autumn, because this cover just screams autumn, and it's a little bit out of my comfort zone, but again, something that I am definitely intrigued by and I definitely want to give a go. I've never been disappointed by any of the books that I've read from Book Box Club so far, so I'm very much looking forward to giving this a go and seeing what I think. And then the second book that I got in a subscription box is Boy Queen by George Lester, and I got this in the August Wildest Dreams box, and I also did a unboxing video for that, so again I will leave a link in the description if you want to go and check that out. But the theme for this box was Life's a Drag, and in case you didn't know, I love drag so much, and I did figure out what the book was for this box, but I was so excited because I really want to read more books about drag, so if you have any recommendations, please leave them in the comments below, because I would love to read more books that are about drag. And I don't know much about this apart from the back, and it's about a boy named Robin who kind of discovers drag after his original plans kind of go upside down, and I feel like it's going to be so amazing. And Dean Atta, who wrote the Black Flamingo, blurbed this book, and if Dean Atta enjoyed it, I feel like I will definitely enjoy it as well. And I love the cover, I think it's amazing, and yeah, I'm just so excited to read this. Another one that's definitely going on my autumn TBR. And then the last book that I have in this book haul is one that only arrived today, and that is The Existence of Amy by Lana Grace Riva. I don't know if it's Riva or Riva, I'm really sorry if I'm pronouncing her name wrong, but Lana contacted me fairly recently asking if I would like to review her book for her, and when I figured out what it was about, I knew I had to. And I actually originally heard about this book from Kyra, because Kyra was also sent a copy a few months back, and we might be buddy reading this together, which is very exciting. And I don't know anything about this book apart from the fact that it is about our main girl Amy and her struggles with mental illness, and that's all I needed to know, because you guys should know I love books about mental illness and mental health, and I am always looking for new suggestions, and I feel like this is going to be very intriguing. I haven't seen that many reviews, but from what I saw on Amazon, the reviews look really good, so I'm definitely looking forward to reading this. And this is also a self-published author, so I definitely want to support her as much as possible. And again, this is one I want to try and get to fairly soon, before the end of the year, and hopefully I will really enjoy it. I feel like it definitely has potential, and I'm looking forward to giving it a go. So those are all the books that I have to haul for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I thought it was about time that I did this haul before it got any bigger, but you might not get another book haul from me for the rest of the year, because I'm not planning on buying any more books, probably until October, because Laura Wood's new book is out on the 1st of October, so I'm going to get a book then. But honestly, I have plenty of books to keep me occupied by the end of the year, so you may get a book haul at the end of the year. If not, you will get one at some point next year, and we do not want to even think about next year yet. But yes, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of these books and your thoughts on them, or some books that you have hauled recently and are excited to read. I would love to know, as always. If you like this video, then please make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you would like to see more bookish videos from me, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and little bell icon so you'll be noted every time I post a new video. As always, I will leave the links to my social media along with the links to my Goodreads in the description down below for you guys. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!